Alright, well, good morning, folks. It is Nick Mulbauer here, and it has been a while since I've decided to film. It's just been cold this winter, and I had a few ice outings that were pretty decent, but only one or two spectacular trips. But the reason I hadn't been filming is since I just got into ice fishing like 2 years ago, I'm still acquiring gear, and I don't have a tent. I don't have an automatic auger yet, and it's just a lot of work to try to film on top of all the stuff I'm already doing. So I just decided to let it go this winter for the most part. But it's a beautiful morning today, and you know, I was looking at my Instagram what was going on about a year ago, and the crappie were starting to bite about a year ago. Water temperature is 43 degrees, so it's a bit on the chilly side yet. It's very early spring. Ice came out 2 weeks ago. We had some warm weather that was just enough to get rid of the ice, and then we had 2 weeks of just cold weather. So had a rain come through last night, and it's a bit warmer today, and I'm hoping I can catch a crappie. So we're going to cast out there. There's some submerged cover out here, and we're going to cast out there and see if they're biting. So we'll give it a cast and just slow reel it back, see if we can't catch a fish or two. Hey, there's one, folks. That didn't take long. Look at here. That was like third cast, guys. How about that? Nice little white crappie there. And if you're wondering what I'm using, I got a 32nd ounce jig head on there with a Bobby Garland lights out color, green and black. It's my favorite color. That's a beautiful crappie right there. Probably a 10-incher, 10, 11. White crappie are a little longer than black. But yeah, 3 casts in, decent crappie. I'm not keeping any today, we'll just let him go. That's a great start though. That was 3 casts deep. Caught one. 43-degree water. I'm on the north end of the lake where it gets more solar energy in the early parts of spring. You can count on the water on the north ends of lakes being a little warmer, so always keep that in mind. Yeah, that didn't take long. How awesome is that? Made my day. I love catching crappie this time of year. Love it. People ask me if I ever go mushroom hunting or go looking for asparagus, and I just say I can't because I'm just so busy fishing this time of year. I just can't get enough of it. Let's try to catch another one here. There's one. Number 2, guys. That crappie thump, guys. That's what we live for. Spring comes around, you just can't beat that. It's the best feeling in the world, feeling that crappie thump. Spring is back, and we're happy about it. Awesome. Just awesome. And all I'm doing is I'm doing what I usually do every time for crappie if I'm not vertical jigging. Casting it out there, counting down 3 to 5 seconds, and just slowly cranking it back. This cold water, I'm slowly cranking it back as slow as I possibly can. That's all I'm doing. Giving it a little thump every now and then, but for the most part, just a smooth, methodical wind. And a snag. And that's why they're there. That's a nice fish. That's a crappie. That's a big crappie, I think, guys. That's a big crappie. That's a nice crappie. Look at that one, guys. That's probably a 12, 13 incher. Wonderful. Look at that. That's a beautiful crappie right there, folks. Beautiful. Crushed. I thought it was a bass. How neat is that, huh? Get a photograph quick. Alright, no more pics unless it's a real monster, but that is a nice one. What a beautiful fish. Can't beat the crappie bite in spring. Can't beat it. Just that slow wind does it for them. That slow wind. They love that lateral slow wind. I love it so much more than vertical jigging. It's so much more natural looking and they just crush it. There went another one on the drop. Another nice fish, I believe. Wow, this is awesome, guys. Spring's come around and I'm feeling fine. Look at that, guys. Another beaut. That's 5 already, guys. I'm not going to switch colors unless they turn off. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful crappie. They're getting bigger. Send her back. Wiley. They're just thriving out here today. So fun. There's another one, guys. All of them are white. Good white crappie population. They reign supreme in this body of water, and what you'll find when you go to a body of water with crappie is that there's usually more of one than the other. Another white right there. Another perfect sized white crappie. Perfect. A lot of times I like to do my research before I hit a body of water, you know, especially if I'm going to travel. The DNR has tons of information about populations and species in a lake, and you can get a good bead before you even go on what kind of species you'll be catching. So look for lakes with good numbers of crappie, and they even have averages. You know, you can go find out, you know, what size they are. I mean, it's a decent indicator. It doesn't mean everything, but it means something. So give that a look every now and then. Educate yourself before you even end up on the water. Might have you having a better day. Well, folks, the crappie bite has fallen off substantially. The wind picked up, and it's out of the west more now than the north. I don't know how that's affected it much, or if they're playing off each other, but the crappie bite has pretty much ceased to exist. So I think what I'm going to do, I have a little bit more time, so I'm going to go jump onto another body of water and see if I can't catch a bass or a smallmouth. See if we can catch some smallmouth bass or some largemouth bass. But we're just going to jump over to another body of water real quick, swap out rods, and you know, if I don't catch anything, it's been a great day. Caught a good few crappie, and they're decent size, you know, good quality fish, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to pack it up real quick, jump over to the other body of water, and we'll fish that for an hour or two and call it a day. So stay tuned, maybe we'll catch some bass. There's a fish swimming towards me. I can't get a beat on his weight. Another largemouth. He just was torpedoing towards me, so I couldn't tell how big he was. Nothing special. But he ate it. Trailed it. I've been out here for about, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. That's bass number 2. It's early spring. These water temps are in the low 40s. So he's probably just sunning himself on some rocks, even though this sun is pretty intermittent, so I don't know if that's exactly why he was there. But again, I'm in the north end of a body of water and just rip jigging a little bit and swimming a little jig in plastic. That's what I'm doing. Oh, there it is, folks, a smallie. I think we might call it a day with that, guys. Alright, folks, my battery died right when I got this fish on board, so I put him on a stringer real quick. Had him down in the water so I could show you, because I think this is going to be the end of my day. So, little smallie, and that was on the same thing. I've been fishing the same 3-inch fluke this whole time for these bass. But I'll let him go. So we caught a bunch of crappie, 2 largemouth, and a smallie to round out the day. And it's been a lot of fun. I am really excited for spring. This is one of my first real spring outings, I would say. I've been out once or twice before I started filming again, but this is the first trip I decided to film. So I'm glad to be back. I don't know how much I'll be filming, as I have a lot of other responsibilities, but I'd like to keep filming videos. It's just been a lot of fun though, catching these bass, and that had a good run of crappie there for about an hour. That was just so fun. That made my day. So what a wonderful way to start the new open water season. We'll have to get back at it soon. But yeah, the whole day I was kind of rip jigging this 3-inch fluke, as well as just dragging it on bottom, and that's how I got some of those bites. And then the crappie were just floating that 2-inch plastic over a brush pile, just real slow as I could possibly reel it, and they came up and smacked it. Sometimes I'd pause the reeling in, and that kind of helped sometimes too, so just varied my cadence. But anyways, Yeah, a lot of fun, lot of fun. I'm glad to be back. So y'all take care. I'll see you next time, and I look forward to the 2022 season. Take care, guys.